Mostly what we work on is surface-enhanced hyper-Raman spectroscopy. It's a method of probing molecules using what we call multi-photon spectroscopy. So we use lasers that are usually invisible. The eye can't see them. They're in the infrared or near-infrared region, but they interact with the molecule in such a way that the molecule produces visible light. It's sort of like in your normal life, right? You behave one way, but then you go to the beach. Maybe you lay down in the sand, right? Some molecules do that. They get close to the silver, they lay down, and they become much less active. If you put a molecule like that into a solar cell, well, crud, it just got worse, right? Because it's laying down, it's not doing anything. But some molecules go off, run around in the oceans, splash around and play, and those molecules are the ones we're trying to identify and say, oh, these are going to be good molecules for us to use in solar cells and in instruments like that. The main purpose, the end goal of what we're trying to do, is we want to study what these molecules are doing in energy conversion, right? So we want to study what's going on inside of solar cells so we can try and make solar cells better. It's the issue of the old energy crisis, which unfortunately the energy crisis has been around for like 40 years. They said in the 70s we were going to be out of power by 2000, and 2000 came and went, we're still not out of power. But there is a problem, right? Trying to take our reliance on a lot of these non-renewable energy sources, oil, nuclear energy is non-renewable, believe it or not. Wood is renewable, but probably not at the rate we want to burn it. Coal, things like, all these non-renewable, and move towards a renewable energy source. It's going to ensure that on down the line we've got plenty of energy and we don't have any major problems. Mostly what we found was in a particular molecule that it's called rhodamine 6G. They found a lot of uses for this molecule. Solar cells is just one of them. There are lots of uses for this molecule. But in this molecule, we found a property of it that had previously been undiscovered. And then we took that property and we applied it to some calculations that we did, some theoretical calculations on the molecule. And we found out that there were some very special properties about this molecule. And it's sort of a big deal.
Oh, yes, it did it. Nice. See, look, this got it over, but that's okay.
That's
So now we got it. We figured it out. Oh, look at that. A little bit more thickness.
When you realize I'm looking at something that nobody else has ever seen before, that's pretty remarkable. And that's what it's all about in science. Really, it's the whole reason I came here, is to find something new, make my contribution to science before I get too old, and leave my mark. And so that's sort of what we've done. There's this component of rhodamine that nobody had ever seen, nobody understood, and yet somehow we found it and made sense of the whole thing. It's kind of neat.